You watch people light up. You watch people go, wait, that's TV?
It really felt like as if you're carried away by a wave.
This isn't just a passion, it's a sense of pride.
It's the new television.
Television's been with us for 70 years, entertaining us, educating us, and exciting us. It's given us the world and taken us to the moon. It's been witness to our history. It's made leaders and unmade others. TV was a revolution built by revolutionaries. Now, a new generation is rebuilding it.
We're sitting down with some of entertainment's biggest innovators from some of the industry's biggest names to talk about what it's like to be on the front lines of the future. Hi, I'm Suzanne Johnson.
And I'm Shane Keats.
And this is Revolutionaries.
I have to say I wasn't a big believer in the internet at first.
We used to have conversations, arguments even, about, well, IP will never take off.
We were a team of 3. This was all new world.
A really good stream would consist of an SD resolution, 25 frames per second, normal color space, and would have rebuffering rate of, let's say, 5% with 60 seconds latency.
And what we've seen over just this short time frame of just over a decade is the introduction of video on mobile phones, the introduction of the tablet, the introduction of new technology that allows the experience to be like TV. It's not different, it just is TV.
Now the conversations are more about how we're gonna make it work, not if it's gonna work.
Now we're a team of 60 plus. Our partner ecosystem has grown to 6 instead of 1.
We are talking about not only HD but 4K streams with up to 10 megabit per second, HDR color space, 60 frames, 90 frames per second, buffering rates below 1.5%, 1%.
We really started with the core of we're going to deliver a consistent, high-quality experience over and over and over and over and make it repeatable. Not something that anyone had done.
Initially, it was all about on-demand movies. Then it started becoming about on-demand TV shows. Then people said, well, why can't it be live?
Last year, we streamed 4K for the first time. So as far as we know, that was an industry first.
For me, when OTT first started, I was so delighted by the mere fact that I could watch something on demand when I wanted to watch it, that I was willing to tolerate almost anything just for the sheer magic of being able to watch when I wanted to. Today, if my wife experiences slow startup time or bitrate downshifts or rebuffering, she goes crazy.
There's absolutely a business impact. When you look at the quality of service, where it's our marquee event, the last thing that you want is a disruption.
What you don't want to happen is that you hear your neighbors cheering about a goal and you haven't seen it on your OTT service yet.
The expectation on the user experience side is perfection.
We're looking at things like rebuffering ratio, we're looking at video start time, we're looking at video bit rates. We look at the different types of screen sizes that people are on, so again, we're able to customize that experience for that user. And one of the missions for WWE is, we put smiles on people's faces. So it is really important for us to make sure that we're providing the best quality, so we never sit still from that perspective.
We focus on improving the viewer experience. It is largely and noticeably affected, for example, by the quickness of the channel loading. The user interface on a Bema TV allows users to flick to the next channel. By loading ahead, it quickly plays the next channel, shortening the wait time as much as possible. We put a lot of effort into designing this screen transition system.
It's kind of a healthy paranoia at all times. Your goal is to delight, not to destroy.
If we launch something and the customers don't like it, I know it within a few minutes. We very quickly try to get them a solution that maybe would work for them and help them out. I mean, we try to respond literally in real time.
And the other interesting thing is the promise of it being better than TV and really improving the experience for the viewer.
My kids have absolutely no notion of primetime programming. They get their cartoons and programming from an iPad when they want it. That is a great experience. That's quality for them. We have to do something better than the last 50 or 60 years of this industry that we call television.
Make it more than just the broadcast. Make it more than just the simulcast. How can you offer more to the fans?
There's no second-class experience, so we can't just kind of like stumble our way into the solution. We've got to make something that's rock solid, that scales, that consumers are just, they're wowed by.
When you think about being a TV service replacement, you're talking about being a part of their lives. Every day they turn that on. Hours a day they watch your service. So that amount of usage immediately raises the bar that it has to be a great experience.
The question I always ask is, how important is quality? Is it just table stakes?
You cannot capture the river of money that's flowing into OTT unless you're delivering a quality experience.
Finally, the industry feels ready, and things are coming together in terms of the willingness to try different business models, the content coming together, the devices coming together, the audiences are there. Are we at the point where this is viable?
My take is that OTT is helping to reinvent some of the business models that we've grown up with over the last, say, 75 years. And I think we're going to see some innovation in business model the same way we saw in technology changing storytelling, for example.
Every major shift in kind of the delivery mechanism and the story types also leads to a shift in business model. You know, the advertising model really drove the industry for 50 or 60 years. So, you know, the move to streaming did change the business model. It moved to subscription.
You've got a cable TV and broadcast TV landscape that was dominated by the 30-second ad that everyone was supposed to play back because we're all watching TV at the same time. And the future has nothing to do with that.
Jeff Bezos has been very public about saying that, you know, when we win an Oscar, it helps us sell more sneakers. So that's a totally different thing than anyone's ever seen in the video business. There's no one solution that's going to end up dominating. I think there are going to be a lot of different ways that distributors and content providers bring their services to market.
Where are we in the reality or the realization of the ad revenue that everyone's been talking about? It seems like, you know, there's so much momentum in OTT. You know, there's so many people out there watching OTT now, and services and consumers and cord cutting and all of this.
I don't believe that the challenges that we're seeing today in this kind of transitional period are insurmountable in any way. The model of an exchange for my time, for your opportunity to monetize my time if you're giving me good content, like, I don't think that model is going away. There's plenty of innovation in the space on all fronts.
Nobody wants to learn a new thing. What they want is they want to take what works on broadcast, a $200 billion market, and they want to translate it to OTT. And if there are too many technical hurdles to make that happen, that technology is not going to take off.
TV is trying to find the right point of balance between purely being a reach medium, all about brand and awareness, versus now being able to start instigating some of those lower funnel types of interactions that allow advertisers to more tangibly measure what the value of that specific ad campaign was.
The last thing I think media sellers want is for the benefit of the doubt that they've had in linear for so long to be compromised by the sort of performance mindset that digital has brought.
With OTT, apart from the fact that you actually know the eyeball which is watching a certain piece of content, you also know how they interact with it. You can interact with betting, you can interact also with advertisers and commercials and all kinds of ways to drive more revenue from it in a completely new and different fashion.
So tell us about personalization, and what will that look like in the future?
It's going to be able to say, you know, here's the things that we think are interesting to you, and people will come to embrace that because it just cuts through the clutter. But you shouldn't have to work to be entertained.
We wanted to have profiles from day one, where my profile logs me in and has my own favorite channels, and it may sort the information differently, and I save to a cloud DVR all of my favorite shows. Can you make this experience more about me? So from the very start, we've always believed that, you know, people in the household watch TV differently.
It requires a tremendous amount of data. Viewing patterns, availabilities, you know, obviously what devices you have, where you are. You need, you know, incredibly intelligent data scientists that understand how to work with this data and, you know, make sure that they know that this is Suzanne and it's not Ben.
In classical broadcast, it's very hard for you to do that. You don't have the mechanics to essentially join up the data and the video at home. With OTT, you define which graphics you want to see, what statistics you are interested in. I think OTT gives you the capability to personalize your viewing experience in a completely new way. It also gives you the capability to interact with your friends.
And that's what's so cool about today. We've got all these great experiences that television's kind of hit their ceiling on, and we're hitting our stride. So we're putting out 4K experiences, not just higher resolutions, but higher fidelity, higher frame rates than what television can do. And the expectation is it's all going to happen online.
So we think over the next decade, we're going to start to see media become an interactive, immersive, kind of geo-positioned experience around a viewer. And that'll largely be with headsets.
I would like to see AR in stadium, stylish glasses that could overlay data. I think that would be very exciting.
One of the exciting trends that's happening is this notion of streaming live television to devices, to set-top boxes, to TVs. Live is very complicated. It needs to work all the time, and the internet wasn't built to handle this.
Take WrestleMania. We have a team of production engineers who are there weeks in advance. The amount of effort and manpower that goes in is quite high.
Live is challenging very simply because the fragments don't exist.
We've had a hurricane.
Not to get too technical, but the video isn't there.
The facility was evacuated. We had to shut everything down, evacuate the team.
What are our rights with the programmer?
Content protection schemas that keep changing.
Can we allow you to fast forward over the ads?
iPad, iPhone, Android, web.
Oh, you've got fiber, you've got satellite, you've got IP.
The encoders were totally different.
What happens if you lose one of them?
Different HVAC requirements.
We're segmenting them into tiny little 5-second pieces.
With 4K, instead of one cable, we got 4.
You know, we're taking it from the venue, sending it to one of our partners for a downlink. From downlink, then we're ingesting it, we're transcoding it, we're encoding it. So there's a lot of touch points.
The internet doesn't exactly do you many favors as to how to get it to the doorstep.
During the Rio Olympics, my godson called me in the middle of it. He's 8 years old, and he wanted to thank us for putting on swimming for him so he could watch it on his iPad.
What's in front of us and the industry overall is a big challenge, but also a big opportunity.
Totally. It's like you can't be in this business if the industry doesn't thrill you. You also have to be willing to take risks. But if you can master all that and bring a lot of passion and innovation to it, I think it's a pretty bright future.
To get to the other room where everyone wants to go, you got to go through a long, dark hallway. And that dark hallway is really scary.
I approach the whole field with a lot of curiosity, and it keeps us busy and excited to see what comes up here.
But that's what makes today so exciting, is because there's so many disruptions still happening in media. I have to pinch myself a little bit.
It's exciting to have the opportunity to tackle those challenges. I think there's nothing that feels better, frankly.
Being at these inflection points in the industry is both incredibly exciting and terrifying.
If I wasn't in a revolution, I would go do something else. It's not an option to not be in a disruptive environment.
I am incredibly happy to actually have done something. We've changed the way the internet works. 20 years from now, I get to look back and like in a museum and point at a television and say that, you know, I was part of something, my teams were part of something, my company was part of something that actually made a difference. So I'm really excited about the future. It looks really, really exciting.